Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about silver and 4 powerful emotions that can get you wrecked in short order if they get the best of you. If you enjoy the content, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. Thanks. I'm looking at all this silver and I'm thinking to myself, why do I have all this metal that just sits there earning no income and paying no yield? Do I have it to protect against inflation and economic uncertainty? Do I want to benefit from its industrial demand in a greening economy? Do I like the idea of private wealth? Am I worried about a zombie apocalypse? Or maybe I'm just a hoarder. When I become interested in a topic, I have a pretty specific pattern that I fall into. The first is YouTube, just creators all the way down. Then it's popular books on the topic. Then it is the books that are hard to track down. I go after all of them. After a while, though, I exhaust new material. That's when the patterns start to appear. In the case of silver stacking, it's the ebb and flow of dire and euphoric thumbnails that track the daily movement in spot price. As I mentioned in my last video, I follow daily charts. I rarely look at weekly charts, except for the closing prices at the end of the trading week. However, I always know which way spot is moving just by scrolling my subscribe to list. I did just that this week. I sat down and looked at the thumbnails in my feed. It was full of the precious metals stackers that I subscribe to because I've learned a lot from them. And then there were the stackers that I tend to hate watch, either because their content confirms or challenges what I think I know. So I started to screen capture thumbnails, just judging books by their cover. I found that they largely fell into a handful of buckets. The fear of missing out. Grab your silver bags and get in, losers. We're going to the moon. Seriously, who is going to buy all this shit? We told you not to be stupid, moron. You can't win because someone always knows more. It's too late to get in. I used the thumbnails of several precious metals YouTubers who create some great content. And if you dive into one of their videos, you'll quickly see that they're also great at creating thumbnails that draw the viewer in. That's part of the game. So this is a long way to come to tell you that emotional decisions tend to be poor decisions. That would suggest that removing emotion tends to make for good decisions. Well, sometimes, maybe. Tell you what, let's take a look at a long-term chart for silver. Okay, for 14 years, silver has been carving out a massive cup and handle pattern. There isn't a real need to be precise here because we're just doodling. There's the saucer, and here's the handle. Now that we've shown off the ceramics, we can move on to the important chart. We just need to zoom in a bit. So I've been looking at this chart and thinking about those thumbnails for a while now. Silver has churned in this same range for almost 4 years, chewing up holders in the process. With every gyration up and down, emotions are triggered, and weak hands are shook out. People run in to buy at the top of the range and ultimately bail out at the moment of maximum pain. And it plays out over and over and over. And if you're consuming a lot of silver YouTube content during this time, your emotions are likely getting amplified at absolutely the wrong times. Now we're coming to the moment of truth, though. The wedge that has been forming for years is quickly closing, and between now and October of 2024, well, price feels like it is going to change in a powerful way. The question is, will it be to the upside or the downside? My guess is we head higher, but it's nothing more than a guess. At least I can count on the thumbnails being infuriating, so I've got that going for me, which is nice. So if we know where we've been and what it has been like, what should we be doing from this point onward? Personally, I have 3 things that I ask myself before making a buying decision that adds to my monthly dollar cost averaging into silver eagles and maples, as well as before putting together a thumbnail for a video to share on YouTube. 1. Chances are you are never really in danger of missing out. Investors often rush into silver due to the fear of missing out on potential gains, especially when they see others making money in precious metals. This leads right to impulsive decisions, such as buying at the peak or local high without adequate research or consideration of the variables impacting silver's value, like the relative strength or weakness of the United States dollar, the risk of rising inflation, the ongoing debasement of the dollar, and global risks and conflicts. 2. Panic selling. Silver investors frequently sell their holdings in panic during volatile market downturns, fearing further losses. This emotional response can cause selling at or near market bottoms, locking in losses and missing out on any hope of potential recovery. The story of silver tends to play out over months and years, and rarely in a single afternoon, even in the worst of times. Conviction in your plan and sticking to it tends to win over hitting the sell button. 3. Overconfidence. Overconfidence can lead silver investors to underestimate risks and overestimate their own precious metals' market prediction abilities. This can result in excessive trading, punishing silver premiums, concentrated positions, and neglecting the need for diversification. Overconfidence can destroy otherwise reasonable plans and savings approaches in a most spectacular way. And there we have it. Today we discussed the risks and pitfalls associated with buying and selling silver, especially when you're acting first and thinking second. We used being emotionally triggered by a concentrated stream of hyperbolic YouTube thumbnails as one way silver stackers lose their bearings while on a long-term journey to accumulate this precious metal. Thanks for sticking through to the end. What are some emotional triggers that have impacted your silver stacking? Let us know in the comments, especially if you have a method for overcoming them. Now, if you excuse me, I need to pack up all this frigging silver. Cheers.